Rockwood. NASAGUY David Markarian here. David Markarian is my name. Hard to say to myself. Isn't that amazing? COVID brain. Doing a review of my favorite RV on the planet, the 2205S. And I do have to stop right now and thank the sponsor of this video because he was just so generous. Who is NASAGUY David Markarian. I'm the sponsor. Rockwood takes pride in never compromising in quality, and honestly, I have had four in the family, 4 Rockwoods. Not one has ever seen the shop. That is almost unheard of in the RV world, and that's over the last 10 years. And this is no different. This is 2022 and it's released. You'd expect there to be issues. There's so many people have complained about 2022s. Nothing. This thing is flawless, and their quality standards were not compromised in any way at all. Why is this my favorite RV? Number one, I have to say that the design it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the design is absolutely beautiful. But number two, it's solid as a rock. It has tons of storage, way more than you'd expect for a 24-foot trailer. It runs completely on solar. Can you imagine pulling into any spot? You don't have to plug in. This is the first thing. You can actually start doing whatever you want to do. But another thing that's actually huge about it is the fact that it is the only RV I've seen that does an amazing job at allowing for stealth camping. So in other words, I could use this completely. Right now I could go to sleep in front of everybody. They wouldn't even know it was in here because the RV is fully functional with the slide in, and I've never seen it implemented so well. Now, again, some of the things that I love about this are the Goodyear endurance radials. I took the last RV I took directly to the shop to replace them, and I got a flat in my Chinese tires on the way there. I couldn't believe it. So I did a video on the difference between these two. You can actually check it out. But they did some really nice things like allow you to put a TV on. The table outside is great. There's so much room. It's a drop frame, so there's room for storage. It's incredible. Speakers, I never would use them outside. You don't want to be rude. I love the fact that I've got these jacks. These jacks are so fast and they work so well. I love them. I would not order anything without them. Another huge factor in making the decision is I love having this. I mean, I had another RV that I absolutely love, but you know, to have someone to spend the time and the money to actually have this added, and when you can put bike racks on here, or you can actually put a generator thing just to hold a generator if you want. I did some cool NASAGUY stuff by putting this simple camera setup from Costco for, I think, $99. And this actually has a better quality display than the expensive device up there. This was $99, and you should see how I'll show it a little bit later, but it's amazing. And I have some really clever ways to back up so you don't ever hit anything I'll show you. Now, something I always think is really critical that I want to cover here. You'll see that NASAGUY put these special snaps here, and why are there snaps all over my RV around all the windows? Well, have you guys heard online of the mystery driving down the road and suddenly the windows shatter? Well, guess why? Because people are putting aluminum, when it's hot outside, they put aluminum on the inside, and that helps protect them from they believe it's protecting them, and it is. It's keeping the sun out. But what is it doing? It's hitting the glass with sun on the way in, UV on the way in, and then it's bouncing back. So it's double heating it, and it's causing the tempered glass to overheat, and then they just shatter when you're driving down the road. So what I did was this, and then you can just every season, or just make them yourself, buy that really inexpensive aluminum foil stuff that's sold at Home Depot. I'll put a link below, and just use it's just using a marine snap kit, and you just simply, it takes about 6 minutes per putting this together. You just cut them and then you just mount them, and I put them on every window. I set it up for this. I'm not using this trailer has never been used before, but you can see them, they're on the front as well, because I don't want to blow up my windows. So an important thing that's a factor. If you want to get 100% off-grid, that means you want to be able to function on solar, which means, you know, trying to distribute power. So I ran the TV, heat, everything in there minus the air conditioning for literally 7 straight days, and the battery never needed to be recharged. So I imagine I literally pulled into an RV spot where I actually keep my other RV, and stayed in my other fifth wheel. And I stayed in it for 7 days and watched this thing and see how well it worked. I had cameras in it and everything, and nothing failed. All day long it ran off its inverter for a computer, TV, etc. All of it ran for a week straight. I never had to recharge batteries, and I love that. I just pulled out. Can you imagine doing that, where you just pull up and never have to plug into anything? Well, this is cool. Also, it just tows so well, it's amazing. That suspension they're talking about with this, that's unique. It really does work well. I've had another trailer about the same size, and honestly, it just seems to ride so much better. I drive, especially through the turns, I've noticed this amazing. I drove through this whole loop, and you can see it's actually pretty windy, and the drive through this like a sports car basically is the best way to describe it. It actually handles the turns so much better than most RVs that I've seen. And this is a Ram 1500 with the e-torque, which I love forever, gonna keep it forever. Yeah, I said that all the time. So anyways, the suspension's fantastic. The Rockwood difference, they're not joking. They really aren't. Oh, I found it. Spelling error. Stabilizers, I can't believe that. What do you know? Anyways, the way the suspension and the combination of suspension and tires, and everyone that races cars knows that it's a combination. But this combination, I just drove through this crazy windy road, and I got to tell you, I can't believe it. It's like a sports car. I've never had an RV drive like this before, and they're not joking. It actually does compensate when you're going through turns. It works well. Now, this step, of course, is great. What they improved on it this year, which I absolutely love, is it used to be hard to adjust. Now it's just you push these in and the whole thing drops. Now, another very sensitive topic, drop this down, works beautifully, absolutely love it. Sensitive topic, the lithium chargers. So when you go to Lithium, everyone online says, oh, you just got to buy this particular brand, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that, no, they're wrong. I actually measured the output. I have a physics degree. I measured the output, and the device that is most commonly recommended by everyone is not a lithium charger. It actually does not float. So NASAGUY put in the only available lithium charger that exists for this, and I'll put a link below for it, and it actually works phenomenal. So I would not utilize, I think you might burn through batteries with the standard one they recommended. Now, I optioned this on purpose with propane. Number one, it's reliable. Two, it runs off AC, but the main reason is I wanted the extended time for camping. The new DC fridges are really new, and yeah, they're great. They're starting to get good attention. They're starting to get some good reliability. They still have issues with like fires because the wiring's bad, etc. There's some of that. Conceptually, they're really great, but they also use what? Electricity. I wanted the ability to get the max time possible out of my camping, where I don't have to plug into anything. And like, as I proved, I did 7 days, and I could have done 10, and it recharged every day in the winter, running everything in here, including heat. Now, that's excluding the air conditioner or the electric fireplace. That would not work. But Newport ash with chocolate. No one orders that. I do not know why. The truth is, when you look at the pictures online, they all make it look so bad, but in reality, if you've ever seen it, it is gorgeous. What it does is it adds contrast. So you've got this light, beautiful interior, and when you look at this light interior in here, it makes such a difference because it makes this, what appears to be small RV, really large. So I'm going to shut the door here. Now you can see how quiet it is too, but it makes this thing look large. Now, and again, no one ever shows. I'm going to try to give you an idea what it looks like, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The other color, which is like a greenish color, it does look nice, but contrast makes everything look better. And to bring out the chocolate combined with this color is just absolutely gorgeous. It makes the thing seem huge with the slide out too, which is amazing. This feels as big, I mean, bigger. Somebody said, wow, this feels bigger than your fifth wheel when you're in here in the living room, which is hard to believe. But my favorite thing about it by far is the fact that this is 100% functional. I can literally sit here in this with it reclined. I'm 6'2", and I'm going to sit down and look. With this out, I can actually put the whole thing out and watch TV. So, you know, she's 5'4". She can sit in the seat next to me. Now, the other thing about this, which I love, is simple details like this. The electric ones, having had 2 of them break already, and for some reason the design concept in the RV world is make sure to make it impossible to get to the part you need to change. It takes only 5 minutes to change once you get to it. Using the Go Power, I mean, they really stuck to high quality stuff here. And the other little secret with the 2022 is we can actually play the TV directly through the stereo now, which wasn't possible before. It's a matter of selecting the right mode. And with the right mode, it actually comes through the stereo. So I have to do a separate video on that because no one believes me. But you can see here, I'm completely comfortable using this. I love the fact, the number of times I'm traveling where I need to stop and take a nap, I can just literally get in here and use the bathroom fully if you want to, but get in bed and take a nap, and nobody's going to know I'm in the RV. I mean, I could even conceptually see doing this overnight where I don't put the slide out if it's super windy out. The last one I had, I literally could not get to the bed. It was super windy one night. I had to pull the slide in, and I couldn't get to my own bed. It was impossible. So it does use the Lippert app to do all this stuff. So you could, I guess, get yourself locked in there. But that's kind of scary to get locked in the bedroom. So my honest opinion about this setup, the LCI control does work really well. It's really impressive. The slide out, I'm so glad they went with a high quality slide out. They didn't stick with I don't want to bring up the name of the painful one. Now, how do I feel about this overall setup? I like the switches that are positive, that they actually turn on and they're on off. It's obvious. What I don't like, and this does come with tank heaters, what I don't like, the momentary switches that are used here, it gets very confusing. Like, is it on or off? You don't know. So you don't know if my porch lights are on or off. You have to go outside to check. I don't know why they did that. But the one thing that I really have a beef with, they put in a Wi-Fi Ranger, and Wi-Fi Ranger was purchased by big company, we'll call it, and their device, it's almost like they bought it to make sure to put them out of business, because this comes with literally the Teton version. It is the low-end powered device on the roof, and I was able to pull more TV channels with one of those cheap $12 flat antennas that I could with this. In addition, I believe this is only 2.4 gigahertz. So when you're at a park and you want to use 5 gigahertz, which is going to be faster, it will not connect to it. You have to upgrade everything, and that I do not like. So unhappy with that. TPMS is great. It comes with it, so I use that all the time. And you know, make sure to check your tire pressure. Everyone seems to overdo with it with the tire pressure. I love the fact that it comes with this rack. This is great, and great for storage on the way out. This is fantastic. The fan's great. Everything is extremely well built, but this space that I get out of this, I literally am comfortable in here without having to open the slide. But let's open the slide and see. Now, another really cool thing they did, if you sneak up here and you look at this, it says inverter prepped or something like that. Something inverter related. So anyways, the point is that these outlets with that marking on them are specifically for the inverter. So when we have the inverter switched on, which is right there, we just turn it on, and I just leave it on when I'm actually stopped. You'll see that it actually works perfectly, and you just leave that on, hit that button, and all these things provide output. So another little trick, here's the charging center. You can actually plug in your USB ports here and charge your phones on this if you want to. You can also get power off the inverter if you want to, and there's 12 volts. So you can put an inverter there if you want, a small inverter, 200 watt, 300 watt, 400 watt sine wave inverter. You can plug in there and not even use the battery power if you don't want to. I mean, directly through the inverter, which, you know, does use a lot more electricity. Another thing they did, which is really great for 2022, blackout shades finally. They've never had it before. Absolutely fantastic. I love it, and they're all the way around except for that one. That's coming next. But I covered that myself from the inside. The other thing is critical. This was ordered with the Coleman Mach. This is the 15K. And you'll notice from 2021 up, they're silent. I mean, it's unbelievable what this sounds like with the, compared to what was prior to 21. So night and day. So I wouldn't touch anything before that. Storage wise, it's ridiculous. This is for a trailer this size. You can fit so much stuff, it's crazy. So we've got storage here, and they did something very Rockwood-like here, which is that you can see that you can actually take these out, turn this into a coat closet if you want, which is fantastic. That's where you store your shoes. I love it. I put that there for whoever's going to end up owning this trailer. Now, this one, you know, this is brought up all the time in the industry. Why did my $130,000 fifth wheel come with this prepped for this thing? And Rockwood includes it. I'm so glad they do, because that shade is critical, and I'm so glad it's there. That's Rockwood, as Josh says, Rockwood doing Rockwood things. So at first when you want to go to the bathroom, you go, wait, why is the door so short? Really smart on Rockwood's part. You open up that vent down there, you open up this, it's got an amazing, extremely powerful, I believe with max air, high quality vent. You just suck all the hot air out of here, you don't have to worry about it, so it's very quick. And so at first you think, okay, it's underwhelming. No, that's not, there's nothing underneath there, just so you're aware. It's actually hiding the, I believe, the hot water heater. But at first when you look at this, you go, it's kind of underwhelming. Well, the reality is this is the same size shower in their higher end units. So it's exactly the same radius shower, and there's plenty of storage. So it's not the biggest bathroom in the world, but the seat is in the right place. It's the right design. And I love that they put these here, because it does make it easy. You can put your toothbrushes here, and having this extra shelf does make a big difference. I like the fact there's a towel rack here. The shower does have the AquaSafe. And for those that don't realize it when they're actually using it, please turn this off when you're connected to city water, because it's just filling up your water tank otherwise. So it's only used for when you're on off-grid. Now, NASAGUY switched to this design for unbelievable difference. Cost very little. I left it with white because I just liked it. I did put the other one in there for whoever's going to own this. But I love that they have this here. You can store all of your stuff in here, your shampoo, etc. It all stays there, it doesn't fall. Also, the fan is unbelievable. It's insane how ridiculous, how much air flow from this. And it comes with a cover, so you don't have to worry about rain or anything like that at all. And notice that it's even ducted into the bathroom. So the AC unit is actually ducting into the bathroom, which is fantastic. Again, crucial to make this experiment work. Having propane gas refrigerator, it makes a big difference. They're reliable, they've been around forever, but the main thing again is the fact that it doesn't use electricity, which means I get the most off-grid use. Okay, so we're gonna put the slide out. What did we learn? Thank you, Josh. Open the door whenever you're gonna put your slide out. The pressurization difference is huge, so it makes it so much easier on the mechanism. So we put the slide out, and with it out. So one of my favorite things about this is the actual, now look at the flooring. Look how great this is. It all goes so well together. And then the storage over here, you got all that storage up there. You've got storage underneath the bed. It's amazing. Look at all the storage under there. That's actually the grill. There's actually tons of storage in here. And then to add to it, they put storage below. So you can put like your socks, whatever you want to put in here. If you have anyone really small that fits in there, that's great. Dolls, etc. Now, if you look at this though, what's so cool about this couch, what I love so much about it is, you know, having it manual means less going to happen. But let me show you some cool things. You actually have storage for your remotes all in here, even though I don't use them, but all in here. Look how much storage you have. And one of the things that drives me crazy about theater seats is the fact that when you have someone over and you're close and you want to hang out together, you really want to be near each other. With theater seats, you can't do that. But with this, magically, if you want to, you drop this down and it allows you to actually have your own privacy. You can work, and to add to it, guess what? You've got both AC power and USB, so you can power your phones, etc. Get all your work done. You're done with work. You want to have a glass of wine, you can put the little table out or something, fold this up, and now you got a couch. How do you beat that? And a recliner couch, which is better than that. Now, one thing I do not like, I don't get it. I'm going to actually find an extension for this. These are not deep enough for anything to not fall, so I would recommend that they actually change that. But otherwise, everything about this design, it's very rugged, very comfortable, very beautiful. I love the couch, and more than anything, everyone comments on this saying, it is huge in here. How long is this? 23 feet, 10 inches. No way. Oh, well, guess what? It's comfortable for a couple, for, you know, weekend trips, but even more. Now, it's also nice that they have this that slips up. They seem to find every little spot. Another absolutely critical thing that everybody seems to miss is the fact that you do not get an electric fireplace in hardly any of these smaller floor plans. And I love they did this. I've never turned when I was practicing with this, testing it, I never turned the heat on. Once when I was in here, I used the electric heat, and then when I left so I could overpower it, see how much the battery can handle, I'd run off the regular heat. And then they also included storage down here. There's no end to the storage in this thing. So truly, and walk around. And this space actually is used. I mean, I can use it for all kinds of stuff, but I love the fact you can get around it. So is there anything better than the big thing though? This is what separates it from everybody. It is a true queen bed. I can replace this bed with any bed I want. And everybody says they have like a king or queen or true, whatever. Look at the actual specs, take a look at it. I've seen them where they have a curves at the front, which means you have to order a special version of a bed to fit here. This is not that way. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a real queen size bed. Absolutely love that. So there is nothing better. The only thing you can do, you know, there's privacy curtains here. Will you ever need them? I doubt it, but if you want to, you could put them there, put them up if you need them. The lighting, you can set it exactly the way you want. I love the fact that they did this. This is a NASAGUY special that most of the time they're just all on or all off. Well, you can set the lighting the way you want by turning on and off every single one of them. Set it where you need light the most. And the other one is everyone's always shocked by this, that this thing seems like, oh, it's terrible. No, it's fantastic lighting. They did a great job. The only thing really weird throws people off, why are these upside down? Well, when you start using them, you figure out it actually works better. If they flipped up, you wouldn't be able to get things in as easily. It's actually better this way. So someone was actually thinking at Rockwood when they did that, and all three of them the same way. And the only thing that is, you know, puts it in the questionable category is the fact that it does, I wish they didn't have the carpet, but the truth is it doesn't bother me one bit, and it's easily cleaned. And also the fact that it matches the carpet there makes it so, guess what? It's all integrated. And this whole thing feels so well integrated and comfortable. And the drawers, more storage than you're ever gonna need. This is crazy. The fact that they have this much storage is just beyond. Everybody's shocked by that. And I don't know what this is for. I'm not a food person, so I don't know what that is, but it's cool anyways. And to go with this color scheme is great. So this combination, I'd say, is ideal. The key to it is Newport ash, chocolate, propane if you want the extended range, lithium, 15K AC, absolute necessity, and proper charging if you're going to go to lithium. So do not use what they tell you to use. It doesn't work. And it might damage the batteries long term. I don't think you're going to get 10 years out of them when they do use that way. So that does it. Look how warm that is. When you have just that light there, you have just this absolutely peaceful environment. Of course, this is with a slide in, but it still shows how nice that is. I love that light. And I love they used a high quality slide system, not the silly starts with an S system that breaks every time you use it. I added this, absolutely a necessity, would not function without it. Makes it so much easier to use the black and gray water setup. Yeah, towing with a Ram 1500, it's almost like I don't even notice it's there. I literally, and the fact again that the suspension is so well set up, I can barely feel it, and it follows my truck. Driving through these curvy roads, it's just been amazing how well it handles them. I've been just absolutely shocked at that. So here we are at beautiful Red Rock Park, Red Rock Canyon, gorgeous place. NASAGUY's review is out. And by the way, this is the coolest thing in the world. If you have a Ram, if you didn't know this, you can just flip your mirrors up or down if you got a trailer. I don't know if you have that option or not, but I love it. You'll also notice that it comes with the larger tanks, and that's part of my secret to being able to be off-grid for so long, is that the propane runs everything in there, and I'm able to use the battery for everything else. And you notice that I've left the battery that way on purpose, just so people won't realize I've got a special 206 amp hour battery in there. And I would not recommend the lift kit that comes. That's the only option I didn't get. And the reason is that you get the cheap tires, noisier, and I don't think there's any positives to it. This actually does a job. And I'd rather have the Goodyear Endurance tires. And with this thing, I don't have to worry about the hitch setup as well. It's just a better design, I think, personally. Another little NASAGUY trick is I always put these, it's a Bluetooth-based lockbox on the back. I put all my keys in here so that I don't have to worry about forgetting them. So whenever I leave. Look at the quality of that display versus the expensive other one. Unbelievable. And solar powered for the behind, so it keeps it actually charged. You don't have to worry about charging it. And unbelievable live. If I move, you'll see that it actually moves with me, and it works for, you can't use it with every trailer, but at 24 feet, it seems to work perfectly fine. So you can see it's working real time. There's no issues with it at all. Absolutely fantastic. $99 at Costco. NASAGUY, David Markarian out. And don't forget, there's only problems and solutions in the world. If you think that way, remove the emotion, everything becomes easy.